Welcome to Math with Michelle, where math finally makes sense. Whether you're tackling high school math or diving into college algebra, I'm here to break it down step by step with real examples and zero stress. From algebra to functions, graphs to equations, I've got it covered. Hit that like button and let's master math together.
So congruence and overlapping triangles. As we see here, we have two overlapping triangles and we're wanting to prove them congruent. And you might be going, two overlapping triangles. I see a lot of triangles. What are we talking about here? Well, there are two very congruent triangles in this section, and then later we could actually prove even more congruency, but we're not going to worry about that right now. Let's go ahead and let's pull them apart. Okay, VWZ. And VZX. Okay, so let's mark what they have in congruent. They both have the same bottom, right? We know that the bottom is congruent to the bottom one because it's the same two letters. Now we can see from V to Z to W, it has a green mark. So from V to Z to W, we're going to put a green mark in. We can also see that X to V to Z had a green mark. So X to V to Z has a green mark. Now, this angle right here is from W to V to Z. It's right here, WVZ. It's that pink plus the green. So that one right there is pink plus green, right? And if we come over here, XZV, XZV is also pink plus green. So pink plus green. So because I'm adding the same numbers both times, they're going to add up to the same value. So that means those angles also happen to be the same. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 by a combination of congruency, substitution, and the angle addition postulate. We're not writing all three of those out. But look what I have now. I have angle, side, angle. That's enough to say these things are congruent. So when you have overlapping triangles, sometimes the best thing to do is to go ahead and spread them out, excuse me, so that you can actually see what's going on and you can mark your picture. So here's an example of why we might want to pull triangles apart, because we have a lot of overlapping triangles in here. So let's see what we're trying to get proven here. We're trying to prove SRV is congruent to TUW. Okay. Well, there's a lot of information stated here. So I'm going to first redraw those two. SRV and TUW. So one of the statements that says here is SR is congruent to TU. SR is congruent to TU. Okay. So we're going to actually write that. as part of our proof, right? Is given to us. Okay, SR is perpendicular to RU. Okay, SR perpendicular to RU. Also, TU is perpendicular to UR. Okay, we've marked that. Got that marked with a 90-degree angle, which it was in the picture, so that's good. Mark that as well, because we did that first. Okay. Angle TSV. TSV. This angle is congruent to STW. STW. This angle. Well, those aren't even inside my triangles. Okay. I'll write it down. It was given. But what's going on with that? Who knows? Still in our givens, right? And SVT. Let me find another color here. SVT is congruent to TWS. TWS. Okay. But I'm trying to prove the triangles here congruent, and I didn't get to mark anything else in those triangles. What am I going to do? Like, do I have enough? And I get that that's probably what you're looking at going, you're probably listening to this video going, really? Is she seriously going, is that enough? Okay, breathe. That's why we've written the two triangles down below. I have a right triangle and I have a leg. Well, in right triangles, if I have a leg, if I could get the hypotenuse, then that would be awesome. The hypotenuse is SV. Check. Or TW. If I could somehow get the hypotenuses to be congruent, then I'd be okay. So what's going on here? Well, if we look back in the picture, this hypotenuse of TW is part of another triangle as well. And VS is part of another triangle as well. So let's pull out those two triangles that I'm seeing. That way maybe it might help us, okay? Because we need the hypotenuse, but we're not getting it based off our drawn sketch here. So STW STV. Now, if you notice, we marked in brown that the angle between ST and TW, here's ST and TW, matches the angle between ST and SV. We also marked that this angle W and this angle at V, I guess I should have done it, not just color coding, happen to be the same. And isn't ST congruent to itself? It is, but we haven't said that yet. So let's go ahead and get that on, because you know that reflective property. S to T is congruent to T to S by the reflexive property. Now, why do I even care? Well, on our side note, well, we couldn't prove these congruent. Can we prove these congruent? Don't we have an angle, side? We absolutely do. So step 3, triangle SVT, so I went from the purple mark to the blue mark to the unmarked one, is congruent to triangle TWS by angle, side. Well, how is that even helping us? What you may have forgotten in that quick little synopsis is that what we needed was for TW to be congruent to SV. Aren't they now because of this little statement over here? Absolutely. TW is congruent to SV because the corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. And now that we said that, yay, we just said this statement. Now we have the hypotenuse being congruent, and now we can say what they told us to say, that triangle SRV is now congruent to triangle TUW by the hypotenuse leg theorem. So not only did we have to pull out the two right triangles that we were trying to prove congruent, we actually had to pull out two other triangles because we actually had to go through and show that they were congruent as well. Now, some of you might have been going, well, wait a second. This angle here matches this angle here because of vertical angles, and this angle here matches this angle here because of vertical angles. And this segment here is congruent to this segment here because since you have two angles the same, you have two sides the same. Can we do all that? Absolutely. You can go through and you can prove so many more statements are congruent here. We just did the bare minimum possible so that we could get to the result that they wanted to. But again, drawing the smaller triangles out from inside to outside and marking those angles as you go can really be a key helper to making a complicated proof look a lot better. And also you might have noticed that I started color coding. Make sure I have 3 colors. That way I can get my proof. You need at least 3 pieces: side, 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 angle, side, angle, angle, side, side, angle, one of the 4, and you've got this.
Thanks for learning with me here on Math with Michelle. If this helped, give it a like and don't forget to subscribe for more clear and simple math lessons. Got a question or topic you want me to cover? Then drop it in the comments. Until next time, keep practicing, stay curious, and remember, you've got this.